Dear students, myself Professor Ravinder Jain, and this is my lecture on nuclear reactions. What is a nuclear reaction? Here is a definition of nuclear reaction. You may read this. Nuclear reaction is an interaction between high energy nuclear particle and another nuclei generally at rest. It means that in a nuclear reaction, there is an interaction between high energy particle and some another nuclei. And this another nuclei is supposed to be generally at rest. And as a result of this nuclear reaction, what we get? We get a new nuclei and some outgoing particle. Now I will explain this statement. In a nuclear reaction, some high energy particle, which is called incident particle, this is a particle, it strikes the target nuclei X, and as a result of this whole nuclear reaction, we get a new product nuclei Y and an emergent particle, which is outgoing particle B. This incident particle A is also called projectile. This is also called projectile. Since this particle is projected over the target X, it is called projectile also. A nuclear reaction can be written as A plus X. This gives Y plus B. Okay. A is the incident particle, X is the target nuclei, Y is the product nuclei, and B is the outgoing particle. Symbolically, we can write this nuclear reaction as this is symbolic representation of a nuclear reaction. This is target and this is product nuclei, and in a bracket we have incident particle and the outgoing particle. First nuclear reaction was produced by Rutherford. In 1919. This reaction was performed in a cloud chamber, and this reaction was here alpha is the incident particle, and this is the target nuclei, nitrogen 14, this is mass number. This is product nuclei, oxygen, this is isotope of oxygen, O17, and as a outgoing particle, we are getting proton. Later, Cockcroft and Walton, these are the name of the scientists. In 1932, they also produced a nuclear reaction, and that reaction was proton plus lithium 7, and we get this helium nuclei plus alpha particle. In this reaction, incident particle is proton, target is lithium, product nuclei is helium, and outgoing particle is alpha particle. Students, this A, the incident particle, it can be alpha particle or a beta particle, gamma particle, proton, it can be a neutron, or it can be some heavy ions. Now we will study types of nuclear reactions. types of nuclear reactions. There are various types of nuclear reactions and we will study one by one. First is elastic scattering. Elastic scattering. In an elastic scattering, an incident particle A approaches the target nuclei X. Okay. This incident particle, as it comes closer to the target nuclei X, we see here that there is change in path of the incident particle A. Okay, there is deviation in the path of the incident particle A and it is moving like this now. This change in path of incident particle A is due to Coulombian field of X. Okay, this is called scattering. This is scattering. And this scattering is elastic scattering since there is no loss in kinetic energy of incident particle A. This reaction is written as A plus X. This is the left side and reactant, and out of this nuclear reaction we get X plus A. The target nuclei and the product nuclei are same. This target nuclei remains at its position and only this incident particle deviates from its path. It means incident particle and outgoing particle are same. The symbolic representation of this nuclear reaction now becomes X, A, X. This is target nuclei, this is product nuclei, this is incident particle and this is outgoing particle. Scattering of alpha particle. Scattering of alpha particle by gold nuclei is elastic scattering. Which is written as this alpha particle strikes the gold nuclei, 197 is its mass number, and as a result we get gold nuclei and alpha particle. Second type of nuclear reaction is inelastic scattering. Inelastic scattering. In inelastic scattering, when this incident particle A approaches the target nuclei X and this incident particle deviates from its path, there will be loss in kinetic energy of A. In inelastic scattering, there is loss in kinetic energy of incident particle A. Okay? It means that this incident particle imparts some of its kinetic energy to target nuclei X, and this target nuclei X goes to excited state. Inelastic scattering is written as A plus X. This gives X, I make it here star, plus A. It means that when this incident particle strikes the target nuclei X, X is in excited state and this is the outgoing particle with deviated path. Example of this inelastic scattering is a proton strikes the lithium nuclei. This lithium nuclei goes to excited state and the proton deviates from its path. Okay? There may be a possibility that this excited lithium Li star, this star means excited, this may come to the ground state. This is the ground state of lithium by emitting gamma radiations. I think now it's clear that in elastic scattering there is no loss in kinetic energy of incident particle, but in inelastic scattering there is loss in kinetic energy of incident particle. Third type of nuclear reaction is nuclear disintegration. Nuclear disintegration. Example of this nuclear disintegration is alpha, which is a helium nuclei. It strikes with the nitrogen nuclei. And as a result of this reaction, we get isotope of oxygen plus a proton. Alpha particle is a helium nuclei, that's why I'm writing here 2He4. And this proton is a hydrogen atom, that's why I'm writing here 1H1. You can see here the mass numbers 4 plus 14 is equal to 17 plus 1. Means mass numbers remains conserved, atomic numbers also remains conserved during a nuclear reaction. In nuclear disintegration, there is change in target nuclei, means nitrogen has changed to oxygen, and there is change in incident particle also, means now the alpha particle which was incident particle and we are getting outgoing particle, not the alpha but proton. Okay, the incident particle has changed and the target nuclei has changed. In the product we are getting different product nuclei and different outgoing particle. The fourth type of nuclear reaction is photonuclear reaction. Photonuclear reaction. Example of photonuclear reaction is gamma radiation interacts with some target nuclei. Here the target nuclei is nitrogen, and as a result of nuclear reaction we are getting this carbon at excited state plus a proton. In photonuclear reactions, gamma radiations or photons are incident over a target nuclei, and the target nuclei gives us a new nuclei at excited state plus some outgoing particle. Since photons are incident in this reaction, we call this reaction as photonuclear reaction. It's not always necessary that the product nuclei will be at excited state. The fifth type of nuclear reaction is radiative capture. Radiative capture. And this radiative capture is just reverse of photonuclear reaction. Example of this radiative capture is better if we write like this. This nitrogen we get in excited state, then we get nitrogen at ground state plus gamma radiations. In this reaction radiative capture, a particle is captured by a nuclei. This proton is captured by a carbon nuclei, and we get nitrogen at excited state. When this nitrogen comes to ground state, it radiates gamma radiation. Okay, so means radiations are radiated by capturing of a particle by target nuclei. So it is called radiative capture. Students, listen carefully. In this reaction, there is no capturing of radiation. Don't think that in this reaction radiations are captured. No, radiations are emitted. Radiations are emitted. Here it is capturing of a particle by a nuclei. Means a particle is captured and radiations are emitted. Okay, so this is radiative capture. The sixth type of reaction, nuclear reaction, is direct reaction. Direct reaction. There are two parts of this direct reaction. One is pickup reaction, and another one is stripping reaction. Stripping reaction. Now first we take pickup reaction. Pickup reaction. Example of pickup reaction is 1H1, which is proton. It strikes the potassium nuclei and we get isotope of this potassium and neutron. This is proton and this is neutron. In this reaction, you see that this proton has picked up a nucleon from potassium, and now this proton has become neutron. Means proton, this has picked up a neutron from potassium and this proton has become neutron. Now the mass number is same in potassium? No, atomic number is same, 1919. Means proton number of potassium is same, but mass number has decreased by 1. It means in this product nuclei there is loss of 1 neutron, and that neutron is picked up by proton and it has become now neutron. So this is pickup reaction. So you can understand it that in a pickup reaction, a nucleon is picked up by the incident particle. Now I take the stripping reaction. Stripping reaction. Example of stripping reaction is a deuteron strikes the copper nuclei and as a result of this reaction we get this stripping reaction is just reverse of pickup reaction. Okay, here this incident particle has not gained any nucleon, but it has lost 1 nucleon. Here this deuteron has lost neutron and it has become proton. Okay, in this reaction deuteron strikes the copper nuclei and deuteron becomes proton. Means there is stripping of a nucleon from the incident particle, right? If stripping reaction is processed in this way, it becomes stripping reaction. The seventh type of nuclear reaction is heavy ion reaction. Heavy ion reaction. Example of this reaction is a heavy ion. Here it is nitrogen nuclei, strikes some target nuclei. The target nuclei here is lead nuclei. And as a result of this reaction, we get why we call this heavy ion reaction? The incident particle is a heavy ion. This incident particle should be heavier than alpha particle. Then it is called heavy ion reaction. Students, I come back to this direct reaction. It has two parts, pickup and stripping. Why do we call it direct reaction? Since the incident particle directly either gain a nucleon or there is a loss of nucleon, directly gain or loss. So it is called direct reaction. The eighth type of reaction, nuclear reaction, is spallation reactions. Spallation reactions. Spallation reactions are also called induced reactions. These are induced reactions or induced fission. I mean, induced fission is the example of special reaction, and I write this example. You are well aware of this example that neutron strikes with the uranium. This is the fission reaction, and as a result of this fission reaction we get barium and krypton. Barium 141 mass number, and the mass number of krypton is 92. There is no need to write atomic number always. You can skip this, and we get 3 neutrons. And these 3 neutrons further causes induced fission with uranium. It becomes a chain reaction. Okay. So a nuclear reaction in which we get many particles. Here we are getting barium, krypton, 3 neutrons, and these 3 neutrons will further cause nuclear reactions. Okay. So a reaction in which we get many particles is called spallation reactions. Students, in explaining all these type of nuclear reactions, you see, I always mention the example first, and then I explained the sense of this reaction. Since by writing the example and then explaining it, it becomes easier to understand. Ninth type of nuclear reaction is compound nuclear reaction. Compound nuclear reaction. Example of this compound nuclear reaction is a deuteron strikes the potassium and out of this reaction we get a intermediate nuclei calcium, and this intermediate nuclei calcium further splits into potassium plus proton. Students, you can see this is a type of stripping reaction. The stripping reaction was here. It's a type of stripping reaction, but the difference between this reaction and this reaction is that only here an intermediate stage is formed, and this is the compound nucleus. An intermediate stage is formed here. This compound nucleus then disintegrates into potassium and proton. Okay, this is the direct reaction. No stripping reaction is direct reaction. Here no intermediate stage is formed. Okay, and in compound nuclear reaction an intermediate stage is formed, and then this intermediate stage is broken into product nuclei and outgoing particle. 10th type of nuclear reaction is spontaneous decay. Spontaneous decay. We know that uranium 238 spontaneously decays into thorium 234 and alpha particle. Means all the reactions in which a nuclei decays spontaneously to another nuclei emitting alpha particle, beta particle or gamma radiation is spontaneous decay. And now the last type of nuclear reaction, 11th type, is high energy reactions. High energy reactions. These reactions occur in the energy range of 150 million electron volt. Okay, so under this range, under this high energy, these reactions occur, and during these reactions we don't get only protons, neutrons and other particles. High energy particles like mesons, they are also emitted in these reactions. Okay, now this is all about types of nuclear reactions. Students, now we will consider or study some conservation laws of nuclear reactions. There are some physical quantities which remains conserved during a nuclear reaction. I mean, the reactant and product both have same number of physical quantities. Number one is conservation of charge. It means that the total charge of reactant, means A and X, is equal to total charge of product, or charge remains conserved in a nuclear reaction. Next one is conservation of mass number. It means that mass number remains conserved during a nuclear reaction. The mass number of reactant is equal to mass number of product. The mass number of A and X is equal to mass number of Y plus B. The third one is conservation of mass energy. Students, in a nuclear reaction, mass may not be conserved, energy may not be conserved, but the total mass and energy will remain always conserved. Okay, this is not a law of conservation of mass. This is not a law of conservation of energy. Nuclear reactions follow conservation of mass energy together. Right? Mass may convert to energy or energy may convert to mass, but the total mass energy will remain conserved in a nuclear reaction. Now the fourth one is conservation of linear momentum. We know that nuclear reaction is a internal process. There is no external forces on a nuclear reaction. So the linear momentum will remain conserved in a nuclear reaction. The linear momentum of reactant will be equal to the linear momentum of product. Right? In a similar way, the total angular momentum will remain again conserved. Total angular momentum of reactant will be equal to total angular momentum of product. This total angular momentum, it is sum of spin angular momentum and orbital angular momentum. This also remains conserved in a nuclear reaction. The sixth conservation law is conservation of statistics. Students, we know that there are two types of quantum statistics. One is Bose-Einstein and another one is Fermi-Dirac statistics. If the reactant follows Bose-Einstein statistic, the product will also follow Bose-Einstein statistic. If the reactant follows Fermi-Dirac statistics, the product will also follow Fermi-Dirac statistics. So this is the law of conservation of statistics. The seventh one is the conservation of parity. Again, the parity of reactant is equal to total parity of product. Right? So nuclear reactions also follow conservation law of parity. Students, you should remember that in weak interactions, this quantity is not conserved. Parity is not conserved. Nuclear reactions are not weak interactions, so parity is conserved in nuclear reactions. And the eighth one is conservation of isobaric spin. This physical quantity is also conserved in nuclear reaction, isobaric spin. And the conservation of isobaric spin, this proves that nuclear forces are charge independent. Okay? So these are the 8 conservation laws which are followed by each nuclear reactions. Quantities which are not conserved in nuclear reactions. There are certain quantities which are not conserved in nuclear reactions, and one of them is magnetic dipole moment. Students, you know that in a nuclear reaction, proton converts to neutron and neutron converts to proton. Okay? This occurs in nuclear reaction. And we know that proton and neutron have different magnetic dipole moments. Therefore, in a nuclear reaction, magnetic dipole moments are not conserved. Okay? Electric quadrupole moment is also not conserved in a nuclear reaction. Electric quadrupole moment decides the shape of the nucleus. And you know that in a nuclear reaction, the product nuclei is different. It may be different from the target nuclei. Okay? When the product nuclei is different, its shape will be different. Its electric quadrupole moment will be different. And hence, this physical quantity, electric quadrupole moment, is also not conserved in nuclear reactions. Students, now we will study this last topic of nuclear reaction, which is Q value of nuclear reactions and reaction threshold. A nuclear reaction is written as A plus X. This gives Y plus B. Here A is the incident particle or projectile, X is the target, Y is the product nuclei, and B is the outgoing particle. Now we define Q value of a nuclear reaction. Q value of a nuclear reaction, it is difference of kinetic energy of product particles and reactant particles. That is, this Q is equal to EY plus EB minus EX plus EA. EY is the kinetic energy of product nuclei Y, EB is the kinetic energy of outgoing particle B, EX is the kinetic energy of target nuclei X, EA is the kinetic energy of incident particle A, and this is kinetic energy of product particles, this, and this is kinetic energy of reactant particles. So this difference is what? It is Q value of a nuclear reaction. In the calculation of Q value of a nuclear reaction, we consider only kinetic energy. We do not consider potential energy, since the particles do not exert force on each other. This is our assumption. Okay? Assuming that the particles do not exert force in each other, we neglect the potential energy, and hence in the calculation of Q, we consider only kinetic energy. Students, we know that mass and energy, they are conserved in a nuclear reaction. So, using that conservation law, I write this equation EA plus MAC square plus EX plus MXC square. This is equal to EY plus MYC square plus EB plus MBC square. E plus mc square, this is kinetic energy and this is rest mass energy. Okay, this is total energy of a particle. Okay, so this is total energy of particle A, incident particle. This is total energy of target nuclei X. This is total energy of product nuclei Y, and this is total energy of outgoing particle B. In a nuclear reaction, it remains conserved. Okay, left side is equal to right side. This equation implies that EY plus EB minus EX plus EA, this is equal to MAC square plus MXC square minus MYC square plus MBC square, or this is equal to MA plus MX minus My plus Mb, this bracket closed, C square. So it is equal to initial rest mass energy initial rest mass energy minus final rest mass energy. Final rest mass energy. Therefore, this Q becomes equal to, this is EY plus EB minus EX plus EA, and this is equal to MA plus MX minus MY plus MB bracket close C square. If target nuclei is at rest, if target nuclei is at rest, this Ex becomes equal to 0. Then we can write this Q equal to EY plus EB minus EA, and this is equal to MX, this is MA plus MX minus MY plus MB C square. And this I assume as equation number 1. This is our nuclear reaction. Incident particle A strikes the target nuclei X, and this is the product nuclei Y, and this is outgoing particle B. This product nuclei Y, this is our x-axis, is going in this direction, and it is making angle phi with x-axis. This outgoing particle is going in this direction, and it is making angle theta with x-axis. Now we will use conservation of linear momentum. Conservation of linear momentum. This we assume that this X is at rest. Okay, along the x-axis, momentum of A is MAVA plus, as X target nuclei is at rest, its momentum is 0. This is equal to momentum of Y along x-axis, and it will be MY Vy. This is the momentum of Y, and its component along x-axis will be cos phi. Okay, plus momentum of particle B will be MB Vb. Okay, this is the momentum of particle B, and its component along this x-axis will be MBVB cos theta. Okay, this is our reaction number 3, equation number 3. Along y-axis, the momentum of A is 0 since it is moving along x-axis, and the momentum of X is permanently 0, and the momentum of Y is MV Vy, and its component along y-axis will be sin phi, and the momentum of B is MB Vb, but its momentum along this y-axis will be minus MB Vb sin theta. This is our equation number 4. Oh, sorry, this is equation number 2, and this is equation number 3. using equations 1, 2 and 3, using equations 1, 2 and 3, we get Q is equal to 1 plus mb by my into EB minus 1 minus MA divided by MY into EA minus 2 upon MY under the root MA MB EA EB under the root of this into cos theta. This is equation number 4. Students, in getting this equation, I have skipped some calculation part. I have written the result directly, and you can also skip this calculation part in examination. You can also write the result directly in examination, or if you can solve, you can do that. This is our final result. Now there are two possibilities. One is Q is greater than 0. That is, Q is positive. Then the nuclear reaction is called exorgic. It is called exorgic. This implies that you can check it from previous results. EY plus EB, it should be greater than EA. That is, the kinetic energy of product particles is more than kinetic energy of incident particle. Second possibility is this Q is less than 0. That is, Q is negative. Then the reaction is called endorgic. It is called endorgic. This implies that EY plus EB, this is less than EA. Hence, in endorgic reactions, energy is provided to take out nuclear reaction possible. The minimum amount of energy required to make the nuclear reaction possible is called threshold energy. Okay, now it is clear what is threshold energy. Threshold energy, to make the nuclear reaction possible, a certain minimum amount of energy is required in endorgic reaction, and that minimum amount of energy is threshold energy. If energy of incident particle A is less than threshold energy, then nuclear reaction is not possible. Okay, so this is the minimum amount of energy which is required to make the nuclear reaction possible. In endorgic reaction, this Q is negative, and I write a result directly again. This threshold energy is equal to minus Q, since Q is negative, 1 plus MA divided by mx. For gamma radiation as incident particle, if gamma radiation is the incident particle, we know that mass of this incident particle will be 0, then threshold energy for such type of reaction will be equal to minus Q. Students, this lecture on nuclear reaction is over, and I hope you will enjoy this lecture. You can watch this video again and again to understand the lecture in a better way, or you may contact me at my number 93108 55100. Okay, thank you very much.